Three.
Welcome to Roleplay Cafe. This is Dell, and I'm with Doon and John. John's going to run us through. We'll be missing Todd tonight, but he will rejoin us soon. So we're going to pick up where we left off. We've made it back to the mother colony, and I'll let you take that over, John.
Yes. So last session, the crew got all of the contaminated colonists up into the Solovetsky Island inside of a cryopods that were rigged up to power off of the drop ship. And they made a plan of, basically everyone was asleep except for a few people that needed to, do. I think actually it was just Dr. Bircher that was doing some research, if I remember correctly. Right? You were trying to create a means to detect this organism. I guess is really the only thing we know about it at this point.
Parasite?
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, well, I was going to say parasite, but you don't even really know if it's parasite or not, technically.
Yeah, I guess the worms could be carrying some kind of virus or anything like that, right?
Yeah, you're not quite sure what's going on. So, but Dr. Bircher completed that, and he went into hypersleep, and then you arrive at the Iyanla, the Solovetsky Island dock, in its docking bay, which is there's four. Just a reminder, there's four ships just like yours, and each of these little cones or whatever is where one of these expedition vessels dock, and so you dock in your slot. We're looking at, from our point of view, it's the bottom right, and Dr. Bircher was awoken through the automated systems in the cryopod, and he was up and about preparing some communique, I guess, to tell every people that there's a contagion on board, and they should go through protocols and communicate the means in which he has developed to detect this organism. And while he was programming this into the computer panel that was accessible by the main airlock on the that connects to the Iyanla, that's when he heard pulse rifle fire on the other side of the bulkhead, and
that's right.
we left it off there. So right now, Bircher,
John?
yes.
Can you remind us? We're in orbit over a planet or some kind of body that has the mother colony on it. Is that correct?
Yes. So
Okay.
this ship that you're on right now, that you're docked with, is gargantuan. This is like not a generation ship, but it's bordering on the size of that. And this ship had like a factory inside of it, and it basically constructed the mother colony, and it was brought down onto the planet, and each of the buildings was installed onto the mother colony.
Okay. And the mother colony is like how many people again? Thousands? Or I forget. Or hundreds.
I think oh no, it's hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go back to my notes,
yeah.
For right now I'm gonna say it's between 500,000 and 1 million people on the mother colony.
A lot of people. Cool.
Yes. So yeah, I mean your ships are approaching the size of the Nostromo in the first Alien movie.
Mm-hmm.
So just think about how big this ship is in comparison.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So the right now Bircher is the only one who has awakened from cryostasis, and he hears this blaster fire, or I mean, this rifle fire on the other side of the door. What is he going to do?
Okay, the blaster fire on the other side of the door. You have to remind me this will be docked with the main ship.
Yes, so it is definitely coming from the main ship and not somewhere inside the Solovetsky Island.
Okay, I'm going to the communications hub and trying to raise the Solovetsky Island to find out what is going on.
You mean the Ilyanla? Because you are on the Solovetsky Island. Is that what you mean?
Yes, Ilyanla. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
I mean, we were okay to dock, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, although it's
just
mostly automated. That process, yeah, it's mostly automated. The docking process. The computer's doing it, and it authorizes it. All the authorization, everything is all automated.
Yeah, I want to lock down the doors right now, and I'm going to first I'll lock down the doors. I'm going to the pilot, Drudge, and trying to start that process of waking him up. But I'm also going to try to raise while he's on comms.
Okay, so you're going to wake him up, and while he's rubbing the sleep out of his eyes, you're going to try to contact the Yanma.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Dudge. You wake Dudge up, and he's stirring a bit, and you see his eyes open, and he makes eye contact with you and like sees the concern and panic in your eyes, and he says, "What is something wrong?"
Dudge, we need to get up. There's fire on the other side of the door, automatic fire. We need to get now. Who was the security guard again? That was
that's Hamada.
Hamada.
Yeah.
Wake Hamada. No, I'm telling him to go try to raise
okay.
the main ship on the comms while I wake Hamada. What do I do? Okay.
While he wakes Hamada, right?
No, I'm gonna wake him to wake Hamada. Yeah, he needs to be there in case he needs to move, undock the ship and move it away.
Okay, okay, I got you. All right, yeah. So, yeah, he needs like at least 30 seconds to kind of wake up, climb out, and come to his senses a bit. But while he's doing that, you start the procedure of waking Hamada, and just before the airlock or the air seal on her cryopod breaks, you see Dudge, running off toward the bridge to try to raise communication and prepare for an emergency undocking
procedure.
Yeah. So Hamada, has she seems a little more accustomed to this cryo sleep, and it takes her a few seconds to wake up. She immediately starts doing some breathing exercises, and then after maybe 5 to 10 seconds, she just hops out of the cryopod and says, "Did we make it?"
Hamada, yes, we made it, but the main ship seems to be some distress, probably some mutiny or clan violence on the other side of the door. I've locked the bulkhead, and Dudge is in the piloting chamber, trying to raise the Yolanya on comms, but you need to prepare for boarding, or for
all right. I'll get suited up
for boarding. Okay, and then I'll go about just trying to. I'll wake up because I respect Doon's character, which is
Yoko.
Yoko, yeah. As she runs off, I turn around and find Yoko's cryopod and begin that process.
All right. Yeah. So, what does it look like when Yoko wakes up,
Yeah,
dude?
Yoko's not good at the cryo thing. So,
Yeah, you'll hear Yoko.
yeah. Blank, blank, blank. You see the view from my eyes, right? Of like kind of blurry, and then kind of coming into focus is Dr. Bircher's face, and Yoko is like, like mumble, inaudible speech.
It sounds like the Peanuts, when,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
when an adult talks.
And then I can hear you, so I hear Dr. Bircher explain what's going on. I think the same thing that he told Amida, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you want to say something to something.
I look about a little distressed, and then I give you the rundown. Same thing. We need to get up and rouse the ones that are better to defend us.
Yeah, I think it takes me a good few minutes to like get my body moving again, right? Like I have to like wiggle my big toe, like to get my motion back.
I'll be urgently saying, "Do you have any ideas what this may be?" You can see, like, my mind searching while you're trying to rouse yourself.
No, I'm gonna be a know-it-all and say, no doubt it's some conflict related to what's going on back home. I don't know if home's the right word for us, but with everyone else.
Spread this far out to this colony.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt this has to do with the war. There's probably some infighting. Hopefully, it's not catastrophically too widespread, and there's still some semblance of organization on board the Alanya, is what I'll say as I, I'm slowly getting out.
Hopefully, but it doesn't seem like it. And then, I'll glance toward the docking bay door, and maybe there's some sound that's still penetrating or coming through.
Did
Dutch get anything?
Yeah, I was about to say, Dudge fires up over the intercom, which there is a connection to inside of the cryopod room, which you're in. And he communicates. He says, "I got a hold of command. There's a small faction of UPP separatists that have started some sort of mutiny. It seems fairly contained up here, but it's a little further along down on the colony itself."
What do they want?
I couldn't get a clear answer out of them. They're in the middle of lockdown and isolating particular areas of the Yanla. They couldn't give me all the details. What
do they recommend we do?
They said to stay. They said to stay put until the entire ship has been secured.
Okay, we need to keep a watch out on the. Hamada's awake. She's keeping an eye out on the bay doors. We need to rouse the remaining crew. I'll get to work on that.
All right. So you're going to start waking up. So is there anyone that you want to keep asleep? So just to remind you, the civilians on board.
Yeah,
all
civilians.
All the colonists.
All the colonists. And what about Dudge's daughter, Claire?
Oh, we can wake up Claire, but we should keep Daver asleep. Obviously, I think.
Yeah, anybody with
he's infected. Yeah. I figured that would fall into the line with with the two parks as well.
So there's only one. There's one. Oh no. There's multiple healthy people in the infirmary, or in the med bay.
Yes. There's the entire Marino family. Is also asleep. That's who I was wondering whether you're going to wake them up yet.
I don't think we need to wake them up yet. I think that it'd be wiser to get everything settled first.
Oh yeah, okay. Definitely.
Unless we know any of them are combat trained, we have the medic. If we in an emergency, we can wake up Diego.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Diego's a doctor.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, actually I guess he is combat trained. I take that back. Okay. So yeah, Bircher starts going through, waking up the entire crew. But none of the Marinos. But he starts some initial procedures, so maybe he can wake them up more quickly if necessary.
Do you agree with that, Dr. Bircher, that we should wake up Claire, or whatever her name is? Her name Claire?
Claire. Yeah.
She might be. This might be too distressful.
Okay, we can leave her asleep for now. That makes sense. Or leave her in cryo for now.
Yeah, until this is resolved. So.
Actually, that should be Dutch's call.
You want to leave it up to Dutch?
Yeah, I'll ask Dutch. Hey, Dutch. Okay. We're waking everyone up, and we're thinking we're definitely leaving the Marinos and the parks in cryo. We're thinking of leaving Claire in cryo until we get this settled and sorted.
Yeah, I don't want to have to worry about her if we need to make some emergency maneuvers and get away from this ship.
Okay, so we'll leave Claire in cryo for now, and once everything is secure, you can wake
her. So you after saying that to Dudge, you say, guys, I think we have a problem. There's some sort of ship coming into view of the bridge. It's not one of ours. I don't know what this thing is.
I've mostly regained my faculties now that
See
everyone's coming out. I want to go to the bridge.
I'm not there.
So where are you, Dr. Berger?
I'm just waking everybody up, going through the cryo.
Okay, so you're waking everyone up. Yeah. I'm gonna go to the bridge.
Let me go back to the Solovetsky Island on the map so you guys can because that's what we're concerned about right now.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, the bridge is not far from the cryopods. So
kind of wish there was time for a shower, but I guess it's
we'll get to that when we can.
Yeah. I'm not like I'm just being decent. I'm not like changing or anything. I'm just gonna run to the bridge.
In your underwear, okay?
Well, I mean, like I'm not gonna like battle tactically gear up or anything. I'm just
right. I understand. Yep.
Yeah. I'm so I mean, I'll take a shower before I put my armor on.
So as you enter the bridge, you hear Dudge. He seems to be communicating with someone on the Iyanla, and he says, "You have an unidentified vessel bearing down on you on your starboard side," and he seems to be coordinating with someone on the bridge of the Iyanla.
I'm not going to interrupt it, but I do. Do we have visual? Like, can I see the thing now?
Yes, you can clearly see this. And because Yoko spent so much time crawling inside of a ship just like this, he identifies it as the exact same model of ship that was crashed on the landing pad on the Gorham colony. The one that seemed to be some sort of advanced technology and had a huge spike that appeared to go through the head of the pilot.
So it's not that big.
No, it's more like it's almost like a fighter.
Yeah, yeah.
It's maybe 60. Its wingspan is maybe 60 feet. But that's uh, the majority of the ship. Like really is just a cockpit on a small body and some thrusters and that sort of stuff. But it's much more advanced than what any of the colonies uh, should have out here.
Jeez.
I say, oh shit, Dudge. Well, I've seen this before. There was one of these down on the colony. It's definitely not friendly, and I have no idea what people or what colony is constructing ships like this. It's not like anything I've ever seen before. This is a problem. I don't know what they're doing, but the last time I saw one down on the colony, this same ship had crashed through, basically barreled through the shuttle that was on dock there. I'm not sure if it crashed or if it did that intentionally.
As you're explaining this to Dudge, you see this thing start firing what looks like physical rounds into the side of the Iyanla, and it begins returning fire. And the thing starts making advanced maneuvers, trying to circle the guns or the Ilyana guns, and starts basically like flying around the entire ship, and it disappears out of view. But every time it hits the ship, you can feel the vibrations even coming through the Solovetsky Island.
Yeah. Do we know what about the capabilities of the Ilanya to know well enough if it can deal with this kind of threat?
It has no weapons on it whatsoever. It is a scientific exploratory vessel, as you can see.
Oh, sorry. Our ship has no... Sorry, the Ilanya has guns. So I was asking about the Ilanya.
Yes. I mean, it should be able to deal with this.
Okay.
However much damage it deals, it's hard to say because, if the Iyanla starts moving around, it might destroy either the docking clamp that the Solovetsky Island is on. Otherwise, I mean, you're going to go for a ride if it starts, taking evasive maneuvers and that sort of thing. So, I mean, it's not in the position to fight off an agile ship without taking any damage at all. So, I mean, you could wait and see what happens.
Well, I just want to know, like, what kind of position we're in from our knowledge, right? Is this little ship is gonna destroy us, or is it this little ship is gonna do some damage before we can take it down?
It's definitely going to be the latter.
Okay.
But I mean, it's hard to say without knowing
and out of character,
what the capabilities of the ship is.
Out of character, I assume that it's actually firing like a boarding crew toward us. That's out of character. In character, I want to know, just like how scared am I of a fighter ship versus this thing? And I guess at this point, I mean, I don't know what we can do to help. That's the thing. I mean, I think that I'm gonna like take over the comms from Dudge.
Okay.
And say, Ilania, I've seen a ship like this before. Have you? Do you know? Do you have any information about the unidentified vessel?
It's not broadcasting any IFF. I have no idea what this thing is, but it can move, and you can You can
spy.
hear that they're, you hear all this background chatter and stuff on the bridge of the Ilyana as they're trying to take this thing out.
Are you going to be able to take it down? I believe that a ship of similar make at some point has assaulted the Gorham colony, from which we extracted we extracted five colonist survivors, 6 maybe. Some number. So we extracted some number of survivors from the Gorham colony, and I'm pretty sure a ship just like this attacked them. Do you are you going to be able to fight them off? I'll ask the bridge of the Ilania.
If you stop talking to me, I'll try my best.
You're going to have to need to do, and I'll shut up.
All right. So, over, with the vibrations that were taking place from the Ilyana being hit by this fire, Hamada comes up, and she is fully armed. She has some she has like some a heavy armored suit on, a ready a ready smart gun, and she says, "Let's open that airlock, and I'll take out the rest of them."
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
now. Now we can. Yes.
Okay, cool. I just made a quirk that Bircher was on the intercom system going, Yoko, what is going on? Whenever he heard, felt the vibration, thinking there was a bomb that went off inside of the thing or something.
I'll call back to intercom to cryo chamber and say, the unidentified vessel appears to be same make as the crashed ship on Gorham. Where is Hamada? Hamada is on the bridge. She came into the bridge.
Yes.
Okay.
So the airlock that is being used is where the EVA suits are, right? Like on the opposite side from the cryopods.
Okay. So I'm going to say Hamada's geared up and ready to go. Hamada, can you get how many of us do you reckon you can get to? And so I don't know the Ilyana, the layout or whatever, right? Like we spent a little bit of time there going to the mess hall and having some kind of other stuff. I'm trying to think, what's a good spot on the Ilyana that we could want to get to? And I feel like Hamada could get us there. I mean, at least so we could be in.
I mean, there's.
Is it better for us to just
there isn't actually a layout. I mean, they want you to stay put.
Okay.
But I mean, really, if you want to get down onto the colony, it's essentially a drop ship that takes you down. That is the main mode of transportation. There is, if you want to get to a secure place on the Ilyana, I mean, you could go to the bridge.
Yeah, I think I want to go to the bridge.
There's probably.
Sorry, what you suggest some other things?
Well, I was going to say, there's probably there's an armory and a variety of security posts that are probably all secured. That the security officers on the Ilyana are based out of, that would be able to protect you.
Where would the person who gave us the debrief on our mission be?
Oh, that's going to be an assistant to the governor down on the colony. It's not going to be up on this ship.
Okay.
This ship is at this point is merely like a go between.
It's kind of like a space station or like a docking.
Yeah.
Thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the problem is we have all these people here, and we still have this quarantine situation. Dr. Bircher, I imagine, do you think that we need to maintain, in your estimation, do we need to maintain the airlock between the Solovetsky Island and the Ilyana?
Oops.
I don't think we need to disturb that bulkhead. if they lose pressure on their side.
Are we still separated between deck A and B and C?
Yes, you mean with the air?
Air, yeah.
Yes.
At this point, I think we should vent B and C completely.
Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Bircher, tell everyone on the crew that we're going to vent B and C. We're going to vent deck B and deck C to finish the job, if there's anything out there.
Okay, I'll prepare them.
I mean, they don't really need to do anything. I just don't go to deck B or C right now. I think we can control everything from the bridge, right?
Well, I just prepare them with the knowledge.
Very good. Excellent.
Yeah, damn it, Yoko, I'm a doctor, not a freaking engineer. Yeah, I'll do that.
Excellent. So yeah, we want to. I'll work with Dudge to do that. Meanwhile, Hamada, just stick by the airlock and be ready. But I think we're not gonna get onto the Ileana until we have a reason to, and Dr. Bircher gives us the okay. Is there still fire outside the window, like out the port?
I'm sorry. Do you mean from the fighter or from the gunfire?
I mean inside the Ileana, pulse fire in the Ileana. So I'll say
no, that is
okay.
That has stopped. Yeah, I imagine Hamada is at that airlock.
Yes,
itching to go through.
Perfect. Yeah, Hamada's at the airlock, and we're coming to talk to her just to, Hamada. I asked Hamada if there's anything out there, and she said negative.
I don't think we have any immediate issues right now. I'm willing to go through and clear a path for you.
Is your suit airtight?
Well, no, it's an airlock, so you're docked. So there's basically like a little tube that connects your airlock to the Ileana's airlock. So you don't need a suit. It's all.
No, I'm wondering
pressurized
for quarantine purposes if Hamada's suit is airtight. Like she could go on the Ileana and not contaminate the Ileana if she was.
No, it is not airtight. It is like a heavy armored suit, but it is not. It has an open face, so it is not airtight.
Very good. Okay. So
this is completely, the whole contamination suit or contamination situation is kind of like, she's completely forgotten about that. She seems like she's itching for a fight.
Yeah, this is a pattern that we've had as a group. Like, okay, let's maintain everything really, really airtight, and then like, oh my god, something's happening. Let's go. Just go. So I'm comfortable maintaining the same pattern. But so I guess.
Can you raise the Ileana? Again?
Oh yeah. They have open comms with them. Yep.
I don't
they seem preoccupied.
Like that fighter ship is hitting us, as you can feel clearly.
Yeah, I mean we've been instructed to sit tight, and I don't think but I'm.
Hey, Dutch, how difficult to undock from the Ileana, given that we haven't even opened the airlock at this point?
It'll only take a couple of minutes to break the seal.
Okay. Just making sure that we have the authority to do that on our own if we need to.
Oh yeah, I just need to communicate the command to the system, and we can break the seal. Nobody better be inside that airlock at the time, though.
My other question is, does the Ileana have a mother?
Oh yes, absolutely. Yep.
Okay, I was just wondering. I'm not really sure what I would want to do with it, anyways. But
back into it.
Yep. Yep. Um, we don't have any reason to do that
All
right
right.
now. Yeah, I
Are you
don't
guys
see any reason for us to get off the Solovetsky Island at this point.
all
Given
right?
and I don't see any reason to undock because we don't have any weapons of our own. We could. So if we undock, would we be able to take the Solovetsky Island to the planet, or no? We'd have to take one of our shuttles, which we have two, one, two.
Uh, you you have your own dropship,
Yeah.
and it could the ship itself could not go down there.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, this isn't Star Trek where the Enterprise can go down onto
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
ship,
Yeah.
onto
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
planet.
Yeah.
Uh, that's the physics of that, or this thing would get ripped apart going through the atmosphere.
Okay. Um. I do. So, I'm talking to everyone, Dudge and Dr. Bircher and Windows and whoever can hear me. Uh, I feel like we need to find, basically we need to complete our mission. We need to go submit our reports to the person who gave us the briefing, who would be on the colony. Maybe our best bet is just to head straight there.
So Dudge speaks up and says, "You want me to pilot an unarmed dropship out into the open while there's a fighter out there? We'll be sitting ducks."
I concur.
And is the fighter interested in a shuttle, or is it only interested in, like I'm not asking this. I'm saying this to the group, but we don't know the answer. Like basically, I'm suggesting that maybe it doesn't care if a shuttle goes. We could release a shuttle without people. See if it takes any interest, and if it doesn't take interest, then we should feel pretty safe to go, I think.
So your two options besides the dropship, you have a relief boat and a science boat, which are accessible from deck A, which you can see at the end of the ship.
I see.
Yeah. So those are essentially, they are not meant to go down onto planets necessarily. I mean, they can, but they're not drop ships that are designed to get down there really quickly. These are things that you would send out like in either to assist another ship or to do some science research on something out in space. But they can be flown down onto the planet if necessary. So do you want to send one?
So Yoko's best suggestion is, why don't we send the relief boat out and see if it takes interest? If it doesn't, then we can take the drop ship, and get at least some of us down to the colony. I don't know if we want to take everyone. Probably not.
I don't. I usually respect your position, Yoko, but these colonists are in my care. We can't just leave them here without or take them directly to the colony. They're in quarantine situation here.
I mean, the other option the other possibility is to have the Ileana send a escape pod of their own. That way we don't take resources from the Solovetsky Island. But I also I don't consider the Solovetsky Island my ship or my home. I consider it to be like if we destroy the Solovetsky Island, I imagine they'll just give us one of the other three. So, anyways, I'm gonna say, Ileana, how's it going out there? I'm gonna open comms with them.
Say, this thing seems to have disappeared. We definitely damaged it. Just sit tight. The situation on the Ileana is almost secured. We got an update from security that there's only a small pocket of resistance that is been cornered in the engineering room. So we'll have you out of there in give me an hour.
Okay, so you got it. When they say we'll let you out of there, what does that mean? I don't know what that means.
He seems to mean that he will the ship will be in such a condition that they can safely open their airlock and let you onto the ship without and go through the normal procedures that they would do when you arrive.
Right, go through the normal onboarding stuff. So
right.
Does that mean we can't get through the airlock right now until we have the
it would take some overriding in order to do it, but it should be able to be done, and Nahamada seems pretty confident that somebody can get it open.
Ileana, would you let me think. I'd like to go speak with the group that's cornered in the engineering. Okay.
You want to speak with the mutineers?
That's correct. This is Yoko Navona, I don't know if I'll say formerly UPP, and I think I can talk some sense into them.
You hear him asking someone of the birds, "Can we do that?" I don't know. If you think you can get this resolved peacefully, patch him through. And you seem to start picking up the audio of some intermittent rifle fire, followed by several pistol rounds pistols being shot off. But you seem to be be able to communicate with whoever's in the room.
Okay, what does UPP stand for?
The United People's Planet, I believe. Is that right?
Hey, you citizens? I don't know if citizens is the right word. Citizens of the United People's Planet. This is Yoko Navona here. Do you copy? Can you hear me?
Who's on this? Who?
My name is Yoko Navona. I'm a scientist who went on a mission on the Solovetsky Island to the Gorum colony. We've just returned, and I would like to hear your update on the situation. What is the status of the Ileana and the UPP on board?
You start hearing them muttering up between them, like, Yoko, that sounds familiar. I think General Ozelinski mentioned something about him. And you hear them arguing as to whether or not they're going to continue talking with you, and then just do it. One of them says, "We've lost our position on the Ileana. Ozelinski wanted us to take control of it and control supplies to the mother colony. We've lost too many men. We're not going to be able to do this. and then all of a sudden you hear some rifle fire again, as though someone there is returning fire on their assailant.
Okay, citizens of UPP. It is my opinion that you should surrender immediately. Given you've lost your position on the Ileana, I do I have an idea of what the protocol? Sorry, this is out of character. Do I have an idea of the protocol for what would happen to them? Like if they surrendered, or are they just going to be executed? Like, is that what would happen? Or
you don't know.
okay,
Being a
okay,
doctor or a scientist, I would
yeah,
say that you're probably not familiar with what the security protocols that have been established at the mother colony are.
right, right. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna. I don't know if I have like any ability to affect who I'm speaking with. Like, if I want to talk to the Ileana people, is that easy to do, or am I currently just UPP people?
No, they're definitely listening in to what you're saying. So,
okay. So
yeah,
I would say, captain of the Ileana, what will become of these people if they surrender?
well, they're certainly going to be arrested, but their fate is up to the governor.
Um, would it be acceptable um, for myself to escort this group personally to the governor? We have our report to submit as well to the governor from our expedition to Gorham Colony.
If it's going to get the fighting to end, I'll allow it.
People of the UPP, do you agree and accept unconditional surrender and to be taken under my custody to the governor to meet with the governor and
I don't think we have any other choice.
UPP, I suggest you accept, because if you do not, there's the alternative is not is a grim fate for you all.
And there's a little bit of arguing amongst them, but eventually they agree and say, "We'll turn ourselves in. Tell them we're surrendering." And you say, you hear them scream to whoever they were shooting at and was shooting at them that they surrender, and you hear some weapons clatter to the ground over the radio.
Send the UPP contingency or the rebellion to the airlock of the Solvetsky Island is what I will tell. Well, I will suggest or instruct the Ileana crew to do.
All right, and they concur that they will do so. It takes maybe 15 or 20 minutes for them to arrive at the airlock and turn and break the seal. Is Dr. Bircher going to intervene at all because of the quarantine?
Yeah, you can hear what's happening. I'm bringing people in. I'm not letting people out, if that's clear.
Del, you're muted. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. No, I'm not going to overstep what Yoko's doing. There has been a time or two that my hands rest above above the button to speak, but I was too tense about their surrender, so I'm not going to jeopardize it anymore. You know what I mean? So I'm going to take my chances with it. So, but yeah, I set my hand down beside the speaker and I remain quiet, yet cautiously nervous about the whole thing about it going down.
All right. So it sounds like Doon that Yoko wants them transferred onto the ship rather than you leaving the ship. Is that
Yeah,
what I heard?
that's the idea I have, but I don't know exactly where it's leading. But yeah, I basically want to send the UPP people into our airlock, seal them off from the Ileana, and then admit them into our ship.
Okay.
I will. Yeah, that's my idea, and I would say Hamida, like be prepared. We have some incoming. They need to be escorted to. I'm trying to think of where we're gonna go. I want to talk to them, but to the mess hall. No,
Okay.
to the. Where are we going? I'm looking at this. This is like Clue. This to
The briefing room.
to the briefing room.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea how many of the people there are. Yoko has no idea how many people
yeah.
there are, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
So there's 5 of them.
Okay.
Hamida is in the far corner of the room with her smart gun trained on them as they enter in through the airlock. They are obvious. They're some of them have light wounds. They're covered in sweat. One of them is bleeding from their head. They're fairly young. Yoko doesn't recognize any of them, but they are they look like grunts that have been seen battle for a few days. You don't know how long they've actually been fighting, though.
Mm-hmm. I imagine I'm like 15 years older than them. And,
Okay.
Yoko.
Yeah.
Yoko. So they're on our ship now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
The
We're
room with
like
the
they're like
EVA
coming
suits,
on board.
EVA suits.
Yeah, and Yoko is tells them like, we just arrived to this. Let's see. We I just got out of cryo, and I get back, and the ship is there's firing in Ileana. All this crap is happening. I'm like sighing. I'm exasperated. I'm annoyed. I'm dirty. I feel like they look. Let's get you. Let's get you into the briefing room, and let's hear what you have to say. Is what I'm gonna say. We make our way toward the briefing room, and I'm gonna suggest to Hamida. Hamida, do you mind waiting outside while I speak with the group?
Yes, I do.
What are we gonna do, Hamida?
I'm
Don't have any
going
weapons.
to.
We're not gonna.
I'm going to supervise your interactions with these mutineers and ensure you're not conspiring with them.
That seems reasonable. Who else is UPP? Sorry, let me just check really quick. Who's UPP in our crew?
Okay, so Dudge is.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's one more, I think.
Lakota? No. I think it's just Dudge and
Daver.
Oh,
Dudge
right.
Daver.
Yeah, but he's.
Yep.
I didn't look at him because he's unconscious.
I'm gonna suggest to Hamida. Hamida, look, I understand you don't want us to inspire. I am not a what's the word? Rebel. I believe in the mission of the Mother Colony, but I don't think but I don't believe that this group, these kids, will be open with me if you're in the room. I want to find out what is going on. I want to find out what intel they were getting from the mother colony in order to start this rebellion in the first place. There's only 5 of them, so I imagine that dozens of UPP have already died. Of former UPP citizens have already died on the Ileana, given that there's only so many left. Please let me speak with them in private. They won't open up if you are in the room. If she just...
Yeah, so I'm going to require a manipulation roll. I don't like the word manipulation. I've said that before, but
no problem.
That's what I'm going to need.
Let's see. Roll.
I guess it's manipulation to cover every single situation. Oh boy.
Well, I can't push.
Yeah. You do not make a convincing argument to Hamada. In fact, she seems even more sure that she needs to be in the room, that she starts shoving you into the briefing room as she makes her way, and the size of the gun that she is carrying with her sends trembles through your body as you imagine the size of the bullets that come out of that thing. So let's before we figure out what's going to happen in the briefing room, let's find out what Dr. Berger is doing. He has this detection apparatus that why don't we establish what this thing is exactly? Is this a blood test, or is it like an air detector? What do you think?
Breathalyzer?
A breathalyzer?
Yeah. Actually, basically, it would just be a sensor to kind of pick up, I would say DNA, but some kind of residual. Basically, it hones in whatever gunk or ooze or icky or whatever.
Can I suggest, Del?
So it takes like an air sample. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Can I suggest that you modify the sensors from the infirmary, because we know that the infirmary sensors had detected something, an airborne contaminant, which is why that shut out the airlock and whatever in the first place, right? So like if you can use those air sensors in whatever sensors in the infirmary triggered the lockdown, and then modify them to be personal use or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's a brilliant idea. I need to find out that ship is still attacking the Ilyana.
It's
ship.
Yeah, you communicate with the bridge again, and they say the ship seems to be gone. They lost track of it at some point. They don't know if it has stealth technology or if it just left the area.
There are the multiple fast orbiting moons around the area too, so it could be hiding behind one of the moons. As far as to keep from detection.
Yeah.
You hear that guy. That. You hear that guy whisper to someone next to him, "I didn't think about that. Let's check into that."
Yeah, we don't need it, especially if we're trying to bring down drop ships. That's what I'm more concerned about, the safety of my patients, so to speak. And I asked, I need to ask the Ilyana to let me know whenever they're, have their medical areas, and I need to let them know of the situation we got here.
Okay, about the contaminants and everything.
Yeah, which would have been relayed upon docking, shared data.
I'm sure they already have like a red flag on our ship on docking that says potential contaminant or something, you know. So
yeah, that's what I want to preload that information so they would know.
Okay.
Wouldn't
It's
walk
like,
into a situation.
yes, we're aware of the potential contaminant on board, which is why we were willing to send the UPP onto the ship without without any concern. I'm going to mobilize a team of scientists to come down and analyze your data on this detection device. So you
I need to prep
are
for these colonists coming on. I mean these the
scientists.
Yeah, and let them know, and I'll give them a full rundown of what I've detected and the methods we're using for detection. As far as
Are you going to share the two samples we have? We have a sample of black goo, and we have a sample of the worms.
They'll be able to access all the computer data and what I've determined from it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All that stuff.
All right. So Dr. Bircher is going to prepare that information. They'll probably be there within 15 minutes to a half hour and receive that, and there'll be some back and forth with questions and stuff, but they should be able to manufacture. Go ahead.
I'll do a slideshow or whatever like that. Whatever, come on.
PowerPoint presentation. Here we go.
So they're going to try to manufacture 2 of these detection devices, and that will, I mean, since it's really just a variation of air sensors that are in materials,
basically.
Yeah,
they're going CO2 detector.
They're actually going to rig up the catwalk that's connecting or not catwalk, that's not the right term, but the tube that connects the 2 airlocks to do these detections as people travel between the ships.
Yeah.
Does that sound acceptable?
Oh yeah, definitely. That way they can, they can detect them while they're on the catwalk. I mean the tube.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So there's no information or anything that Bircher is going to try to withhold or anything.
No. I mean,
okay. All right.
The one question I have about the withholding of information is the comms stuff. I just want to know what our stance is on withholding information about the black box or not. Are we being completely open with them? And maybe I'm not there yet.
That's kind of you.
I feel like what's this Windows right now, while we're all doing our return to Mother Colony stuff.
Yeah,
Windows should be checking the black box and like making sure to see if there's anything that's been transmitted from it or from the black box, right? Because we have our blacker box.
Well, we know that there's a saboteur. They need to know that information too. They've just been like a mutiny, and this fighter ship's already,
I don't have any opinion on this personally, Dr. Bircher. If you wanted to tell them everything about that stuff too.
No. I'll hold off that. I just meant like as far as within my profession with the contaminant. But I'm just telling, I guess, metagaming as far as like I'm aware that there's a whole other aspect to it. You know what I mean? With what we've discovered that I'm not even approaching. So you handle that.
Okay, cool. So the people, the scientists have full access to our information about the aliens or unknown specimens and maladies.
All right. So I will let you, since you are retroactively saying that this is what Bircher was doing, or not Bertrand, I'm sorry, I meant Kip Falcone was doing. I will tell you, that he is monitoring traffic on the Blacker box that is, interfaced between the comms array and the black box. And it seems to be broadcasting some sort of encrypted message, and has been since you left faster than light travel and arrived in the system that the mother colony system. He cannot decrypt what these messages are, and he is recording them for possible future decryption. Maybe from one of the mothers might be able to do it, but he doesn't have the computing power to attempt a decryption on this information.
Okay, good. That's good. I'm not gonna in character. I'm not reacting to that yet because I feel like I'm in the middle of something. But later on, I will.
All right. All right. So let's find out what's happening in the briefing room. So Hamada basically strong-armed Yoko into it with the 5 UPP mutineers, and she's just standing by the door. She is not interfering with, trying to, force anybody to sit down or anything. She is just controlling the room.
I take a deep breath and I give Hamada a side eye, basically, in my eyes, she's treating me as one of these defectors right now. Which is
that's
fine.
Yeah,
which is fine. Yeah, I mean, I give her a side eye, and then I look back to the other kid. I consider them kids here, and I'll tell. I'm like, what the hell are you people doing? What happened? I'm just gonna say that and see what they say.
Well, we were following the orders of General Ozelinski. Isn't that what you're doing? So to remind you,
let's
General,
do it.
Yeah, let's do a quick flashback. So when we found out that there was a shooting war between the UPP and the UN right before you left, there was there was arguments and stuff like that, and some fighting that broke out. And General Ozelinski is basically the highest ranking UPP member of the Great Mother Mission.
Okay.
He is responsible for all military operations in relationship to the mother colony.
Okay.
And he was trying to bring control over the fights that were breaking out by standing up on top of one of the tables in the cafeteria where the fighting was.
Okay. That was him. Okay. I didn't know it was him. Cool.
So I would imagine that all of you have seen General Ozelinski. The UPP members of the crew and Yoko may have had some short interactions with him, but he is a person of authority for everyone, even non-UPP.
Okay, that's good. Is Ozolin? So is it correct then that the General Ozelinski of UPP is? So sorry. Is it correct that this is like a military coup then? This is the like a big military group, and the big military group is saying hey, we're gonna throw over the political government.
I mean, that would be your initial interpretation as to the events and the conversation that you've had with these 5.
Right, because Ozelinski is
so far.
But the point is that Ozelinski is basically the defense branch of the colonies.
Yes.
Okay, So, um, and then my other question is, how much has Yoko interacted with Ozelinski personally?
I will leave that up to you. I mean, and keep in fact that he's a soldier and you're a scientist.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll tell these people. Yes, I do serve the interests of Ozelinski and the UPP, but only insofar as they coincide with the interests of the mother colony. So I do take orders from Ozelinski, and but what is going on here? I understand that back in, sorry, what do we call home? Is it home? Like not the
Home as
Spinward
in
not the Spinward colonies, like what everything that's going on in the war back everywhere else.
well, I mean, it depends. It depends on where you're from, I guess.
I see. So
The
the war is like
UP,
basically ubiquitous, pervasive at this, like it seems
yeah, it's like multiple solar systems. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Basically, I want to scold these people. Like, how dare you? What are you trying to do? Take control of all the resources? We don't need to have control of all the resources. The resources are for everyone. That's our philosophy. That's what we believe in. Everything belongs to everyone, and we share those things. It's not, why, like, I understand that we are afraid of the greed of other people, but taking it for ourselves in order to control it is no different from them. We need to fight for everyone. Is what I'm scolding them. I'm like, what are you doing? Look at all the lives that have been lost. How many people died on the Ileana? I don't know the answer to that, but I don't need an answer. But people, come on. What do they say?
All right. So I'm gonna say. I mean, I'm not gonna make you roll for this.
Manipulation. I don't mind.
No. I'm not. I'm not. No, I don't think you need to roll for this. I mean, these guys have surrendered to you, and think that you're looking out for them. So, yeah, you see, these are obviously young kids, and they're a bit, overwhelmed by what they gotten themselves into. But they one of them breaks down and says, I don't know. All of a sudden, I was ordered to kill people that I had known since we woken up and arrived here, and I don't know what it's all for. You need to ask the general. He said we needed to take command of the entire mission because the governor couldn't be trusted anymore. I basically went into this just thinking I needed to do whatever the general told me to.
Well, that sounds awful. Just awful. That sounds awful. You need to think for yourself. What's your name? Sorry, John.
Frank. Frank Drabson.
Frank Drabson. You need to think for yourself. You need to understand what the UPP stands for and what it means. The UPP as an entity, if the general really is trying to take everything for, to control everything, then he's lost his way. You can think for yourself, Frank.
But how can I know what's going on back home and what's best for everyone back home? My family could be dead.
That is definitely most certainly true. But that's why your dead family is not why we're here, Frank. We're here to create a new world for us Spinward colonists, where we all live and peacefully and work together it's not the UPP proper, but it's everything the UPP used to stand for.
All right, I'll do whatever you want me to.
Now, all of you all are better than this, and I'm sure that when we get back to the colony, we can come up with a way for everyone to work together. But if the general's calling for war, that's just foolish. War doesn't help anyone, and certainly doesn't help with doesn't help conserve resources for everyone. If anything, it's a big waste of resources for everyone, especially human lives. And I'm done talking.
All right, Amida is you can you looked over, giving her side eye over the course of this. You noticed her eyes rolling a few times during these conversations. But she says, "I got word from Dr. Bercher that they've set up the air test in the umbilical cord that connects the two airlocks. I think we are ready to leave when you are."
Well, we should maintain the captives, or the captive. I don't know what are they? we should keep these people under watch. Where we will deliver them to the governor when we return to the mother colony. There are 5 of them and a dozen of us. So
hopefully there's still 5 when we get down there. All right. So why don't we fast forward a little bit, and why don't we figure out how we're going to get who is coming off the ship, and what you're going to do once you get down onto the mother colony.
I think this is a good thing to decide, but I also think we need our breathalyzer results first.
Your what?
Breathalyzer results?
Oh, well, that happens as you're leaving the ship. So,
yeah. So
each one.
Sorry. You're asking who is leaving the Solovetsky Island onto the Ileana?
Yes. Del, you're muted if you're talking.
No, I was going to let him say what he's going to say,
okay.
But I'm not going. I'm going to stay with my patients until they're ready to go. I'm kind of my mindset is overseeing the quarantine procedures with all of these refugees is the way I'm looking at them now. But also I've got to be there to take these med pods to the main ship, so the doctors there can look at them. You know what I mean? That's what I'm waiting on thumbs up for.
Okay, so it sounds like you're going to spend some time prepping that while everyone else is going off to do other stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm not leaving the ship until,
Okay. So, so I'm going to say that'll probably take some time getting the, getting them out of the cryopods that are in the drop ship and everything. So, why don't we figure out what what Yoko and is going to do with all these soldiers? And are you just going right down onto the mother colony and turning them over to the governor?
Yeah, I think at this point, Yoko, we have 2 missions, right? One is to do this scientific, or the recon mission to the Gorham colony, and one is to, at this point, I just took on another mission, right? I want to deliver the Serendes to the governor.
Okay.
I also am curious about the General O. Zelensky. but
Okay.
I don't know how much access we'll have to Ozelinski because I imagine they're at war down on the colony. But so Yoko's solely focused at this point. I believe Yoko trusts the rest of the crew of the Solovetsky Island to handle the reporting of our findings about Quorum to the governor.
Okay.
So Yoko is mostly solely interested in delivering these Serendi people to the mutinous group to the governor, and negotiating that situation or like dealing with that situation. So that's what Yoko's thinking about right now. Yoko's not really caring about the reporting of the Gorum colony.
Okay. All right. So it's going to take some time to, to get loaded up onto the dropship and arrive down there and, coordinate an escort to the governor. So why don't we resolve what Dr. Bircher and the scientists are going to do with everyone, and then we can find out what happens with, the transfer, the escort of these 5 soldiers over to the governor.
Yeah, that sounds good. And Yoko plans to go with them, so Yoko being one of them is perfectly reasonable in terms of however they're treated or whatever.
Okay.
So the plan, Yoko plans to go with them to the governor whenever that happens.
Okay.
All right. So everyone but Bircher and the 3 infected people, which are Morgan and Benny Parks and Daver, have left the Solovetsky Island. No one has triggered the new detection device that is in that umbilical cord connecting the 2 airlocks, which I'm sure is a sigh of relief for Dr. Bircher.
Yeah.
There was no hidden infections that he was unaware of. And eventually, after everyone is left, a small team of scientists and engineers come on board, and they start reviewing all of your findings with you. And the engineers have brought independent battery devices so that the cryopods can be powered independently of the dropship, and they can be escorted off of the ship. We can role play this if you want, but I think it's pretty clear that Dr. Bircher is going to be pretty open about everything that he's found, right?
Oh yeah, he is. I want to make sure that no infection is going to set into the ship, or especially down in the colonies. So I need a team of scientists working with me to kind of isolate this and do what we have to do.
So let's just have let's just have a short conversation. The lead doctor that has been brought on is Allie Stevenson, and she says, she goes over the plan with you, and she says, we have a rather large laboratory on the ship. I'm hoping we don't even have to risk exposure to this infection down on the colony itself, and we can perform all of our research up here. As I'm sure you imagine, go ahead.
No, that would be advisable. I just agree with her as she's saying it.
Ilyana has quite a sizable facilities for us to utilize. We should be able to deal with any possible situation that may arise in regards to this new organism that you discovered. What I'm thinking is that we maintain maintain each of the subjects in cryostasis, and do as much as we can without removing them from such to avoid exposing any of our scientists.
Yeah, and now, can I gather that it's arrested any of the accelerated changes that this virus is making on the persons since they were in cryo sleep, or does it look like that they've progressively gotten worse?
No, it seems your evaluations over the course of their cryostasis seems to have put all development on hold entirely.
Okay. Yeah, and I tell her that, and also I want to show the body of the creature, its dissected form, and all that information, and explain to her in private, not to unsettle the other doctors, but what had happened. Even me, and that I needed to be fully, examined, basically. In case they have anything like MRI or whatnot,
So where have you been keeping this the specimen, the carcass of this snake thing?
Under glass.
Just in a box that we found it
in a shoebox with some holes poked in it.
Yeah, in that suitcase. But it'll be more in a medically.
Yeah, I meant like
yeah,
exactly. Yep, hermetically sealed and to avoid any exposure and stuff like that. And you can see, you're showing this to her, and she is completely fascinated with it, and she says, "I'm really interested to see the tests and the results of all your evaluations of this. Would you be interested in participating in the research that we perform on this?"
Oh yes, I would be delighted. You can't keep me from it, and I'll smile at her. I'm at home amongst my peers right now, so I'm looking forward to delving into this deeper.
I think we'll have at least a few weeks before you would most likely go out to your next colony.
I'll even slip my name into the I'll call it as far as the specimen itself. Birchers. I've named the creature.
Right.
Yeah,
the disease is called Bircheritis.
Yeah, that's what she wanted. Immortalized.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with a good name.
Yeah, I will. But Bircherilium or
Bircherpeas.
Gonna break up in Latin or Greek or something. A toolbox. But yeah, we'll do that. I'll name the creature and the condition as well. Right.
All right, sounds good. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm really excited I've never had an opportunity to study an alien species before.
Yes, I think you will enjoy it, as I have. So I'm giving myself a little more weight that I've really put in a lot of examination time. You know what I mean? So I'll be
right.
Making more affirmative, a little bit more than I should, declarations about the creature and what it has done. Enjoying the spotlight as it were. But yeah. So that's how I'll engage her. If we need to, as soon as your facilities are ready, doctor, hopefully they've not been harmed by the attack. We can transport them when you're ready and begin our studies in earnest. or examination.
So over the next, she she says that the mutineers seem to avoided the entire science sector, and over the first or the next couple of hours, the all three infected persons are transported to the laboratory, and the small group of you start bringing everything up online, and you begin your reviewing all of your notes and explaining the conclusions that you came to. Can Dr. Bircher give me an observation roll, please?
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh boy. You got a lot of successes. You are about to seek cover. Okay, we're gonna play the seeking cover in a different manner. So you notice that there is a member of Dr. Stevenson's team who seems to. You notice that they are taking additional sample. Well, like they should be taking a sample of each of the items, and taking blood samples of the three infected, and tissue samples of the carcass. But they are taking additional ones and pocketing the additional samples that they're taking. They're putting them inside of some sort of case. And you're about to say something when you realize that several other members of the team are speaking to this person, and one of them looks like they're about to walk away with the case.
Oh, geez.
So I'm going to say that seeking cover means that you're first, like, this isn't going to control your overall reaction to this, but your first thing is going to not draw attention to yourself and the fact that you saw them do this. So I'm going to say that
I might need to excuse myself to go get my heart pills, basically, but not out loud.
Yes.
Back at the, I just take a turn on my heel, excuse myself as I've forgotten something, and I got to take that to try to calm down a minute, and wonder at what I just witnessed
and what you missed.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm going to say you got 3 successes in addition to the panic. So the first one allowed you to see that someone was taking an additional sample and keeping it for themselves, apparently. A second success is going to reveal that there are multiple members of Dr. Stevenson's team that were involved. What do you want to know for the third success? You could know, you could know which way they went and maybe be able to track them down. You might want to know if other people are involved, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I need to know if there's any distinguishing marks
would you be
about
able
them that would donate denote whether they were part of a certain faction, since I'm kind of nervous about warring factions. You know what I mean?
Would you be able to know what faction they were, or would you be able to observe what faction they were Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, it could be
Hmm.
dialect. It could be, maybe color of
Yeah,
skin or anything.
I'm going. Yeah, I'm going to say that there is
Haircuts,
someone on
anyone's.
her team. There is someone on her team who has a very distinct um, accent, which is very similar to General Obolinski.
Hmm.
Mm.
Belters.
Yeah,
They're from most likely the same planet. Is where the reason that they
Yeah,
had
the
this
regional accent.
similar accent.
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
that put me into like, where I'd gotten really relaxed and just talking with her and kind of enjoying the spotlight. I felt
Hmm.
like at once that I'd given a little bit too much of myself, uh, information away whenever I saw this go down, and that's when I excused myself because I felt like I endangered myself as well as the crew and not knowing what to do. That's when I excused myself to go back and get the pills to try to calm down. And anyway, yep,
I like that. So you witnessed this whole situation, and then like in your panic, you kind of went back to your pills and
yeah, go to my
didn't
safe
actually
space. And,
interfere with the exchange, but you saw it. So that's cool.
yeah, do my breathing exercises and wonder about my next move on this. You know what I mean? And
Cool.
then, but I'll call you up in private as soon as like.
Eh,
But when
I'm
I try to
busy.
get you on the intercom, yeah, you're. I'm just saying you're gone when I try to pull you up. You know what I mean? And then
Yep. Yep.
I'll
Oh,
calm
cool.
down
Cool.
and
I like that.
have to retcon when I get back in contact with you, and then I'll step out of the room because the doctor's waiting on me. So I'll try to compose myself and join
Okay.
her, but I'll be a little bit more reserved when I'm walking with her. You know what I mean? So there'll be a different countenance about me.
Okay. All right. So let's cut back to Yoko, Hamada, and these 5 soldiers, the UPP soldiers, being escorted from the dropship into the mother colony. The first thing that Yoko notices is the significant number of armed guards
Mm-hmm,
that are
mm-hmm,
scattered throughout the mother colony. You do not hear any gunfire or anything like you did up on the Ilyana,
mm-hmm.
but there is definitely a heavier police presence down here than there was when you left for your Gorham colony mission. You
Yeah.
start. Oh, go ahead.
Now, my question is if um if anyone in the police presence is UPP, or if I can tell that.
You cannot tell that because all of the the police force down here wears a separate uniform.
Very good.
They the police force is separate from the military force that General Ozelinski is responsible for.
Yep.
So there's no immediate concern of loyalty from that point of view. Um, but yeah, you can't tell who's who just from looking at them.
Okay, cool.
As far as the armed guards are concerned, anyway.
Cool. So we're being like escorted through the city to the governor's space, and
Yes.
there's a lot more armed police on the streets. Got it.
Yes. All right.
I think Yoko walking through, walking and noticing this, is not surprised. Would expect as much, given what we know. There was fighting down here, and that it most likely was instigated by General Ozelinski.
All right. It takes a good half hour or so to make your way from the landing bay area to the governor's office. As you approach, Hamada and the two two officers that are escorting everyone explain who these men are, who you are, and why you're here. And they seem to communicate through a handheld radio to someone. And then a few moments later, the doors open into the main office area of the governor. You can see this place is abuzz with activity. There are not only are there several guards in here, but there are administration people. There are some higher up members of the police force in here that seem to be coordinating something. And eventually, the governor takes notice of I guess there's 9 of you that have entered the room, and gets up and she steps forward out of the conference room where she was talking to a lot of these people, comes out and says, "Well," and turns to Yoko and says, I heard that I have you to thank for the end of the hostilities on the Ilyanya."
I hear that General Ozelinski has gone mad.
I couldn't have stated that better myself, and frankly, I'm surprised at where your loyalties lie.
My loyalties lie to the people of the Spinward colonies, the people of the Mother colony. And my ideals are one and the same as the original universe, united people of people.
It's actually, I looked it up. It's the United Progressive Peoples.
The United. So my ideals are one and the same as the United Progressive Peoples. We as a species, as humanity will prosper if we all share what we have and work together. Is what I say to the governor. I'm talking to the governor now?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Well, I wish the general felt the same way, because we have a significant problem on our hands. I realize that you probably have some significant findings to tell me about the Gorham colony, but we don't have time for that right now. We need to get this whole colony back under our control.
I'm not a military strategist.
You hear Hamida laugh after you say
that. I only know like politically what the UPP stands for, and that these 5 good people I have here, and I look at them and they're like whatever they're doing.
There's their hands are cuffed and they are confused.
These 5 good people here have been misled by whatever General Ozelinski has ordered people to do, but my belief is that they know better now. They I look at them and they look hapless. but I don't act that way. I act as if, I believe they know better now. I say confidently, and then I look at them.
You can't possibly expect me to just let these people go. They killed some of my men up there.
I'm gonna try to deflect. This feels like manipulation. These do we know that these kids killed anyone. It could have been the other. There were dozens of UPP on the Ileana, and now there's only 5 of them.
Why don't you give me the manipulate? Are you trying to get these?
Basically, I'm trying. Yeah, I am
leniency,
trying. I am trying to get
them off.
I'm trying to get them leniency, and I'm trying.
Okay.
And I'm making up a lie excuse right now to say that maybe they didn't kill anyone. Like, you don't know that. You can't prove that they killed anyone. Even though they were firing at you. Can't prove that they were firing at you. Do you know that they killed anyone? Is that true?
All right.
So
this is going to take. I mean, the governor doesn't know. So I'm going to say if you get 3 successes, she will. The governor is willing to, if they cooperate in helping, assisting with, the elimination of, or not necessarily elimination, but like the either arresting or eliminating the threat of the remaining UPP separatists on the colony, then she will, grant them clemency. But there's going to be like a spectrum. So, if you get 2 successes, they might just get a slap on the wrist. If you get 1 success, they might only spend like a year in prison or something like that.
Yep. Sounds good. I don't mind. I'm anticipating 0 successes here. I'm not trained in this.
Okay.
I built this character as not a face, and then I'm playing as a face, basically. But let's see. So yeah, Yoko makes Yoko's plea. Okay, 1 success.
You're panicking. You drop an item. Okay. So,
what if the item that I drop is like information?
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that. I don't know how. I mean, I'm just suggesting that as a possibility. You make the decision.
Loose lips, yeah.
But like,
yeah.
But I feel like
Drop a hint.
the only thing we withheld was like black box stuff. But I don't know how important that is or whatever. So if it's not important, it will not be divulged. But if it is important, then maybe that's.
Yeah. So actually, that's a good idea. I'm going to say that she listens to what you have to say, and over the course of that, you mentioned that there is, that they haven't done anything to jeopardize our mission, like interfere with our communications array or something.
Yeah,
something like that. And you can see the governor's, perk up a little bit when she hears that, as though that is something that she probably needs to look into. But she says they did surrender, and I'm willing to give them a fair trial. I can't guarantee that they will not spend any time in prison, but I will treat them fairly and consider what they have to say and evaluate what the witnesses that saw what their actual actions were on the Ilyana and judge them accordingly.
That seems very reasonable, Governor. I'm glad that you are able to see things reasonably. These people, they didn't know. They don't know. They're young, and I know that they are, based on my interactions with them, they agree with the ideals of the mother colony. Is what I'll make as my final statement to the governor on this topic.
All right. So the governor calls over some men to escort the 5 prisoners and take them to, take them to the jail that has been set up. and to ensure that they don't have any interactions with any other arrested mutineers. And that is, I think that's probably a good place to stop. Can't think of any cliffhangers to set up, so let's pick up. Yeah, let's pick up there next time.
A quick just stat, like where everyone is. So Yoko just
Sure.
delivered the prisoners. The governor at the governor's
Yeah.
mansion, and the governor imprisoned the mutineer UPP people from the Eliana. Where's Bircher right now?
I think he's still up on the Ilyanula. Right?
Oh yeah, Bircher's working on the research project with the Ilania
he's
people.
Probably going through that catwalk right now. He's shaking his little tush, as it were. You know what I mean? As far as them transporting the passengers, or maybe even the med pods. Yeah. So he's played a little catch up with the daughter. He just excused himself for a while. Okay. Did you see the names that I put on there?
Yes. Okay. So Carnifex Office or Ophis? I'm not sure how to pronounce
it's
that.
basically the assassin serpent or snake.
Okay.
For the alien. Which is Butcher, which is like Bircher for the assassin, which is Carnifex. And Carnifex Contagion for the
so that's
venomous snake. Anyway.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. And what about the worms? Are you going to come up with one for the worms, or is that part of the contagion?
It's part of the contagion. I'm thinking them as like babies or part of the.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Like, it's just the infection that it gives you.
Yeah. So, and why don't we say that that Kip was Kip. Why don't we say Kip was working with the rest of the crew on finalizing the report, and we can leave. We can let Todd decide how and if he's going to communicate the existence of the black box in the report itself, and we can ask Todd that next time we play.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys. That was a good one. We I didn't think we would spend quite that much time with the mutiny, but you guys very carefully navigated everything. So
I think this game, because you can get in the panic really quick.
Yeah.
States that you really have to be kind of selective in what you do, and that anything could turn sour really quickly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I need to. I'm realizing, like, we've only played this like 3 or 4 times, I think, and there's all the context of all the panic results is all like in the middle of an alien movie. So I mean, sometimes they don't really make sense, which is why I kind of had to curate them a little bit. But I'm going to try to cut back on the rolls a bit more when we're at the colony and moving the mother colony, just because that's not really where the roles are supposed to take place. So.
I feel like so there's 2 things I have feelings about this. One is that that we're doing an okay job of like interpreting what the panics mean. I think that it makes sense, like, to adjust it for the situation, right? The other thing is, like, definitely we all went into cryo and we all came out of cryo. We probably all should have had our stress reset.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
Like, there was a big time pass there.
Yes. Yes, that's completely true, and I completely forgot. I didn't even think about that. But that's a good point. I'm going to remember to manage your stress levels a bit more, I think.
Because then we would have been rolling fewer dice too, which is appropriate, right? Like, we just came out of cryo and we're like weak versions of ourselves.
Yeah. In fact, why doesn't everybody drop down to? Well, I'm going to say it makes sense for Bircher to have one stress
Because
because
one
of the
came
situation.
after. Yeah.
Right. But everybody else can go down to 0. I dropped Kip to 0, and I need to keep better track of that stuff. That was a good point, Todd, or Doon. Thanks.
All right. Cool. I set my stress to 0. Berger should be at 1. My agility's still at 1. My agility went down because of the panic.
Yeah, you can increase that back up again. That was just a temporary thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next time we will kind of resolve these situations a little bit more, and maybe you'll find out about your next colony options. Maybe we won't get to that. We'll have to wait and see what happens based off what you guys do.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry I didn't get down there, but I had the patience. Felt like he
That's
would,
all right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
Yeah,
I can't go anywhere right now. No, that was good. That was good. Glad we made it through, at least.
All right. Well,
all right, fellas.
I guess we'll see you guys next week.